USPHL fans, and more importantly, Dan K Show fans. We love that you're watching the Dan K Show each and every week. And this week, where'd we end up?
We ended up in Chicago.
Chi-Town, the Windy City in Illinois, right? Illinois?
That would be incorrect pronunciation, Dan.
Incorrect pronunciation. I took a lot of years of French, but still can't figure it out. It's apparently Illinois. Don't pronounce the S. You wouldn't sound right.
Exactly, Dan. You never want to pronounce the S in any Midwestern name.
You know what you pronounce the S in? USPHL hockey, and that's what we have a ton of from the Chicago Showcase here in beautiful Chi-Town, Illinois. Dan K, Lucas Jones, back with more after this. Hey hockey fans, it's time to kick off the Dan K Show the way we always do. It's time for our three things. Thing number one, what a flight it was. Lucas survived it though. He had to fly with a guy who hates flying, flies all the time, and was flying on Friday the 13th through a lightning storm. Never good to be on a plane with this guy in a situation like that, but we made it. We're here. We're safe and sound in Chicago, beautiful Chi-Town. Thing number two, the Windy City is filled with big-time hockey action. The hockey has been great. There's been some competitive matchups. We just got done watching Minnesota Moose, Richmond Generals, a battle of the South versus the big-time northern portion of the Midwest. It has been fun, fun, fun. And thing number three, we met a man with a better suit than I have ever worn. The most well-dressed man I've ever seen, and I feel very uncomfortable in a room where I'm not the best-dressed man. You're going to have to see it to believe it. All this and more. We're going to have USPHL talk. We're going to have Midwest hockey talk. We're going to be talking our favorite person in the world, John Schwarz, and the event he's put on here at multiple rinks, multiple places throughout Illinois. We're going to have it all here on the Dan K Show. Coming at you next. Dan K Show back on site here in beautiful almost Chi-Town, just a little outside of Chi-Town here at the Canlan Ice Sports Arena here. We're taking in three different rinks worth of hockey right now. A lot of Midwest teams, a lot of South teams out here today. Let's talk Midwest hockey. We're in the Midwest. Let's talk Midwest USPHL hockey, Lucas. How good's the product been so far that you've seen?
Oh, it's been great. You know, we talk about how great the Midwest is, how great the South, the Northeast, all these different things is. But since we're focusing on the Midwest, you know, such a physical brand of hockey. You know, it's the kind of hockey that I like to watch. It's a little slower. They clog up the ice a little bit more, and I think it results in a crazy competitive league. You've got teams that can win any game. You got teams that can lose every game. You got upsets. You got favorites winning. It's just the kind of hockey that is so exciting to watch. It brings me back every year.
What I'll say, and when you bring up the word slower, I wouldn't use the word slower. I'd use that physicality. And what physicality does in closing up passing lanes, closing up shooting lanes does, it's that, and I always go back to it, that John Tortorella brand, right? It's that selfless brand of hockey they play out here in the Midwest that I love. And I've come out here the last few years to these Midwest events, went out to Detroit, watched the Detroit Fighting Irish take on the Motor City Hawks. You watch the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings. You watch the Minnesota Mullets over there taking on the Hampton Roads Whalers right now. And you want to talk about two teams playing two different styles. You got a Minnesota Mullets team that's trying to run guys through the boards when they get the chance to, obviously in a clean way, but trying to separate you from the puck, trying to make the game hard for you, trying to tilt the ice in their direction. Then you got a Hampton Roads Whalers team, tape to tape, quick passing, open up the ice, end-to-end, coast-to-coast, trying to make plays happen, defensemen getting involved in the scoring, trying to play that quick game. Talk about the yin and yang here that you're seeing between the South and the North.
Well, I think what I'm seeing here is a lot of X's and O's style hockey. These teams have to readjust. You have these game plans set up when you play a lot in your region. You play a lot of the same teams that you're used to. You have to change up that game plan. And I think that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing coaches really get involved. We're seeing guys going into huddles on the bench and going into that locker room, and guys sitting on the bench just drawing up these plays and trying to figure it out, making the adjustments. The one thing that I always notice when I come to these showcases is that a lot of these coaches continuously change up their lines. They're always mixing and matching to try to find that right winning combination for whatever's right in front of them at that particular time.
That's it. And, you're going to see that a lot, too, because you want to give as many looks as you can to the scouts that show up for these events. You got a lot of different faces showing up to these events from different schools, different colleges, different pro scouts at times. And you got these guys that you're trying to impress. So you want to give them as many looks in as many ways as you can. You want to get guys on the PK, get guys on the power play. This is an exciting event. It's exciting hockey. One of the teams I'm really looking forward to watching is the Chicago Cougars. They're coming off a tough loss here, loss to the Islanders Hockey Club. Talk about the Chicago Cougars start to the year. Talk about the Wisconsin Rapid Rivers Kings, the two top teams out in the Midwest. These have been two very good teams who we've watched plenty of in the last few years.
Yeah, that's true. We've been watching them last year. We watched them this year again. Two teams, I think, that are repeating some of the successes that they had last year. But again, when you're on top, you become that target for everybody else. You become that team that everybody else puts 110% in. They break out the special plays. They break out the weird and interesting looks. And I think that's a good thing for the entire league as well, because it keeps that level of play so high. It keeps that standard so high where every game becomes a game that every team is hyped to win.
It's 110% out here each and every day in the Midwest. It is an exciting brand of hockey. Goes with the lifestyle. Lucas and I are going to be eating some deep dish pizza later to really assimilate with the locals here. We want to be a part of it. We love it. We love Chi-Town and Midwest hockey. Dan K. Lucas Jones coming back with some more interviews after this. Hey, Dan K. Show fans. Yet another interview here in beautiful Chi-Town. Sir, introduce yourself.
Parker York. I play for the Daytona Racers. I'm the captain. I play center.
This is the center, the captain. This is a leader on the team. Right now a little dinged up, but he's on the mend. He's getting back out there on the ice. Talk about that. Talk about, hockey. It's a sport where there's a lot of injuries. There's no way to avoid that. Right. Talk about being a leader of a team, a captain, and still having to lead the team from off the ice right now.
It's a little challenging, but we have a good group of guys, and they all try to help me out. Just not being on the ice is a little hard, so going to the locker room in between periods, try to get them all riled up. That's about it.
As we know, junior hockey, and it's about more than just what goes on the ice, right? As a captain, how do you lead off of the ice for the guys, in their daily life, in their education, in their workouts?
You just set by example, like go to the gym, work as hard as you can, just get good grades, just try to push everybody as hard as you can.
Now talk about the Daytona Racers brand here. You got a great coach, caring coach over here watching the interview right now. Yeah. What is he doing with you day in and day out? How great is it to have a coach like him working with your squad?
It's incredible. They're always supportive, great facility. They try to get as much stuff for us as possible. It's good. It's a great organization.
Great organization, great team, great player here. Captain on the men. What is the goal for the Daytona Racers? What's the goal this season for you guys?
Right now we're in a little slump, so let's try to get some few wins and then end up the better team.
That's it. This sport is funny because you start off the year, you can go on a little bit of a slump. You can get on a little bit of a losing streak. Right. You know what happens during this sport? You add guys, you build, you get better, you improve. This team's going to be on the men. Dan K. Show prediction right now, the Daytona Racers are going to start rolling off some W's here. Last question for you. Talk about the team. They're all over here watching right now. This guy that just walked in, who is this and what is his flow?
That's Jordan Morales. There's something wrong with him. But he means the best. He's a great kid.
Great kid. Slide in here. Slide in. I wanted to say, first of all, extremely tall and much taller close up. Now, they're pretty apparent. Thank you. He loves the tie. Talk about the flow here, because this is some of the greatest flow I've seen. I just want a real quick flow question.
So honestly, I'm trying to go all out natural. Because the big thing is I see a lot of guys put effort into it, and I feel like it's creating something that's just not real, not natural. So I'm trying to celebrate, just the human existence by just letting it do whatever it wants. Yeah. And honestly, I'm pretty happy about it right now. I feel like I like what God's plan's going right now. I like it.
This thing is Paul O'Neill to the T. This is 1999 Paul O'Neill, starting right fielder for the New York Yankees, man.
I'm blushing right now. I've never heard such high praise. Thank you.
This has been Dan K with the Warrior, El Capitan. We might as well have the 99 Yankees here. Daytona Racers, again, watch out. Winning streak coming down the pike here. We'll be back with more Dan K Show after this. Hey Dan K Show fans, Dan K back here with Lucas Jones at the Canlan Ice Center Arena, Sports Center, Ice Rink?
Rink Center Arena.
Rink Center Arena here in beautiful Illinois, just outside of the Windy City, Chi-Town, Chicago. Lucas, let's talk about the Chicago Cougars hosting this event with their leader, John Schwartz. Just how good of an event are the Chicago Cougars putting on here in Chi-Town?
Oh, it's a great event. You know, they got 2 rinks going right now. They're rocking and rolling at both of them. They got a full slate of games all day. I love they're running very efficiently. They're sticking to that schedule. The ice looks great. The rink looks great. I've had the best coffee I've ever had at an ice rink right here at Canlan. I think this is a top-notch event.
Legit. The best coffee Lucas and I have ever had in an ice rink right here. It has happened today. It is a big moment in our lives. As you know, we survive and thrive on coffee. And today, I'm not sure what the brand was, but it was delicious. But let's talk about John Schwartz. You know, this guy leads the Cougars. He leads the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings. He leads the Dells Ducks. I mean, this guy, we've met him, we've talked to him many a time before. Just how important is it to have a leader like John Schwartz for any organization and a voice like his throughout this USPHL Midwest?
Well, he sets the tone. You know, first things first, he sets the tone for his 3 teams. You know, he makes sure that they know exactly what is expected of them on the ice, off the ice, in terms of practice, preparation. You know, and then you want to talk about a guy who is leading not only those 3 teams, but he is a central figure in the Midwest. You know, again, leading by example, showing how organizations should be run, setting an example in terms of the way to manage those organizations. You know, in an age like ours, where so much off the ice is important in terms of photography, video, you know, your digital presence. John is making sure that all of that looks just as good as the product that he puts on the ice.
And the product he puts on the ice is great. I mean, coming into this showcase, you had the Cougars undefeated, you had the River Kings undefeated, you got the Dells Ducks who have a title under their belts here. I mean, the organizations he puts out there on the ice, every one of them a winner. Every one of them has a chance to win each and every year in, year out. I mean, what does it take to have that kind of success, especially out here in the Midwest where there is a lot of competition? How do you lead the way he does each and every year?
Well, there is so much competition. I mean, we've said it time and time again. You watch a show, I know sometimes we sound like a broken record talking about the Midwest. But what you got to do is you got to stay competitive every year. You know, you mentioned the Ducks coming off a title, right? But they are not sitting on their butts waiting for another title. They are going out there like this is the first year they've ever played hockey. We were watching them get ready. We were talking to John in the off season, you know, what's your preparation like? And he said, I'm pushing these guys. Yeah. And he pushes these guys every single season, every single week of the season, to make sure that they are at 110% every single week, because in a competitive division like the Midwest, you have to be on the ball or on the puck pretty much every minute of every game.
This is a guy, and he leads with such love, such passion for what he does. I mean, anything this guy could run a pizza shop, he could run a hockey organization. He's going to do it with passion. He's going to do it with love. He's going to do it with care. Puts the right people in place. You look at a guy like Marty Quarters over there with Wisconsin Rapids River Kings. Come on, the personality there. You look at a guy like Brad Stopers over there in Chicago. You just know that these guys care. You know, they want to go out there and win. They want to give the players every chance they have to advance to the next level, and that's all you can ask for. I mean, kudos to John Schwartz, another great event. We got to go watch some more hockey. There's a lot going on out here. We're going to have a lot more coming back at you from the Dan K Show, Chicago Showcase Edition. And with that excitement, we start the Dan K Show closing edition. We're going to be closing up shop. It's closing time, like everyone's least favorite song of all time that's overplayed and overused for every prom and every graduation and almost every event of all time. But it is closing time, and Lucas, wrap up the Chicago Showcase here for me in a nice little bow.
It was a great display of hockey. You know, it was physical, it was fast, and I think overall, just the level of excitement that we saw here today really shows you that teams from the South, the Midwest, the Northeast, from everywhere can really come together to just play some great hockey under one, or in this case, two roofs.
2 roofs, 3 roofs, 4 roofs. We got all kinds of roofs here because we got all kinds of rinks. And that's what a USPHL showcase is always all about. Tons of scouts, tons of hockey, tons of great athletes out there on the ice competing, high compete level. Some of my favorite teams to watch so far this weekend, I loved watching the Minnesota Moose. This is a team that first time I've gotten a chance to see them on the ice. Next level talent right there. Loved watching these two teams out here. You got the Eugene Generals coming in from the Pacific, led by the incredible Alex Stimson, incredible Lucas Smiles, because I almost stumbled on the great Alex Stimson's name.
Yeah, well, we actually got a chance to, see him again today, which was great. We got to see him last year. Very quick, though. We always seem to be coming in when he's heading out, It's tough when he's over here and we're all the way out here. We appreciate all the work that he does out in the Pacific. Love watching those videos. We hope that all those guys out there enjoy us just as much. So it's always great to see our West Coast friends out here.
Love our West Coast friends. Different time zones, same feeling. Love is the feeling, and we love USPHL hockey. Lucas, it's empty net time. We have had all kinds of correspondence. We've had the Minnesota Moose reaching out trying to get us the games. We had the Blades reaching out. We talked to Coach Todd Pocock about possible Florida futures. We talked to the Daytona Racers. We talked to the Charlotte Rush. We talked to just about everybody.
We did. If people wanted to talk to us, they got on camera, and that's how it works, folks. If you want to talk to us, you'll be on camera on the Dan K Show. It may not happen right away, but if you get filmed on this camera with us interviewing you, you will get on the Dan K Show. So just reach out on Twitter, Facebook, come find us in person, Instagram now. Same as our Twitter handle. It'll be at the bottom of the screen. Just come say hi, tweet at us, let us know where you are.
Tweet at us. We will make whatever show you want at home. We're trying to entertain you. We are trying to inform you. We are trying to break down the greatest league in junior hockey, and that league is the USPHL. Again, we are happy you watch. Our fans are our favorites. And as we talk, we got Alex Stimson walking right through off camera. Alex, always running, always sprinting here. That's what this is all about. The guys like that make these teams work. Lucas, closing statements for the Chicago Showcase before we hop back on a flight. He's got nothing. I've got something because I've always got something. We are on the road again. Friday, we'll be on the road Thursday night. And on Friday, we will be in New Hampshire, beautiful Hooksett, New Hampshire, watching the New Hampshire Junior Monarchs home opener. We made it on the flyer, Lucas. We made it on a flyer. We have officially made it.
We did. I think we're third billed, just behind food trucks and a bouncy house.
We got third billed. I'm honored to be third billed behind a bouncy house and a food truck. I love food. Bouncy houses, don't do them in the wrong order. Bouncy house first, work up an appetite, then eat. I get told that every time. Lucas tries to keep me under control, but I always go bouncy house after food. Never ends up well. But Dan K Show's third. Eat some food, bounce in the bouncy house, and come watch us. We're going to be live. We are going to be on site. We're going to be in New Hampshire Junior Monarchs. Watch out for the Dan K Show. We're coming for you next. Always on the road, always on the go. Dan K Show on the road this week. Thank you, Chicago, Chi-Town, the Windy City for having us. And remember, when Dan K's on the mic, it's always hockey night. We did it.
We did it. And I got to say, this must be what you feel like after chugging that last cup of coffee. I'm like, you don't know how hard it was for me to restrain myself and say nothing.
I always feel like I've drank too much coffee. That's kind of how I run. I run at a high pace here, high speed, high intensity level. I'm excited, and I'm just a little Lou Malnati's pizza in my stomach, a little coffee. We're doing great here.
Yeah, my fitness tracker is actually yelling at me because I've had 9 cups of coffee and no water. My fitness tracker is not happy with me.
Who needs water at an event like this?
I don't. I mean, there's ice.
Athletes do.
There's ice everywhere. But I think last week we said that the ice would melt and that wouldn't be good for hockey, but that would be good for us drinking water.
Water's too warm. It becomes ice?
Yes.
Wrong.